Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, friends. I hope you're all doing well. This is a slightly later recording compared to what I normally do, but that's okay. We still got to it. And why didn't I do a recording earlier? It's because I've been having a fantastic time. It's been a good day. Um, I've just flowed with life. I've just sort of allowed myself to completely be present in the now moment during the day. I was at work today, but I've had the most amazing interactions with people, and yeah, it was all good. It was all fantastic. It was amazing. And after work, I went out for a meal with a couple of good friends of mine. And it was just full of laughter and joy. The conversations flowed. We had great food. And yeah, my day just sort of concluded, if you like, for lack of a better terminology. But I'm just in the car park. It's nearly 11 p.m. I'm just about to drive home, and I feel as energized as I was when my day started. And that's because I've just sort of stayed out of my mind and just allowed life to flow and just enjoyed whatever's unfolding in front of me. And it's been fantastic. I woke up feeling great. Um, and it's nearly 11 p.m. and I feel even greater. I feel energized. I feel there's a certain type of buzz within me, and that's just because I'm enjoying life. I'm just allowing life to lead me, to show me how great it can be. And nothing out of the ordinary happened, but yet could also say it's been absolutely extraordinary, as in I stayed present. That's how easy it is. That's how easy it can be when you allow it. Just stay present in the moment. I'm not worrying about what happened at work. I'm not worrying about what's happening at home. Well, I'm not worrying about what happened at work as I was out with friends. And during the whole time we were out, I didn't check my phone even once. I didn't feel tempted to check my phone. I wasn't bothered by what the time was. I just allowed it to be timeless. Like, this is the only place I have to be. And I allowed myself to be here in the now moment. And just enjoyed it. I was open. Life was just passing by. Things were flowing. And it's just pleasant. It is just pleasant. And I am eternally, eternally grateful to get to this point of realizing that all I have to be is to be present in the now moment. This thing of being in the mind is just habit. And habits are hard to break. They're not hard to break, but they have a certain pull to them, a certain draw. That's why people struggle with addiction, because your nervous system is used to a certain pattern. And I guess you could say most people are addicted to paying attention to the mind, that it become ingrained in their nervous system. That's why that's why some people struggle with their own presence, with their own silence, because their nervous system is not used to it because they've trained themselves out of being themselves. Does that make sense? They're addicted to thinking. That's it. Yeah, I think that's how I would describe it. The human mind is addicted to thinking. Like, thinking is not bad. You can use food as an analogy. Analogy? Yeah, analogy. Some people are addicted to food, but the food in itself is not bad. You have to get to a stage where you use food to work for you, to nourish the body. That's how you have to look at thinking. Thinking itself is not bad. The aim is to not stop thinking. The aim is to get thoughts to work for you, thoughts to work to your advantage, thoughts to nourish the human, thoughts that align with source, that align with your higher self for good, not thoughts where you're just ruminating and replaying the same scene over and over and over again. Because that's what happens with people. They just retelling the same stories in their mind in a loop, and it just replays and replays, and they get stuck in that cycle. And to break that cycle, you need a certain level of awareness. So awareness has to come into play that this is what's happening. You're stuck in a loop, going round in circles with the same thoughts, replaying the same scenes over and over again. So without awareness, people don't realize this because they're almost taken over by the thought. It's the same way addiction works. And the person who's addicted has to have awareness of the addiction for them to break the cycle. That's why you cannot help someone who's not quite ready for that change. That's why by you telling someone this is what's happening, they're addicted to XYZ, which is damaging for them, doesn't work without them being ready or open enough to receive it. That's why I don't force this information onto anyone. And I can sense people who are ready and not quite ready for that yet. Like, even in my personal life, there's a lot of people I can't talk to just yet about stuff like this because I can sense they're not open enough. They're not open enough for a conversation like this. You can feel it in their energy. I like to think that I'm quite good at reading people's energy. Like, I can sense people's energy. And what I do in situations like that, I just stay present and I stay as the awareness. I hold the awareness for them and I'm present with them in a non-judgmental state because I realize that whatever situation they're stuck in has a certain momentum, and me just saying to them, this is not good for you, when they're not quite ready for that information, probably would not work, and it might backfire because people can become defensive. They get triggered and they start going into a defensive state of mind. Because you also need to know not every information is right for everyone. People have to be open to receive the information. And sometimes all you have to do is to be present with them and not interject. And I've realized that with a lot of people, not a lot of people, but generally, when people come to you complaining in the normal sense or wanting to talk about something, often they're not really looking for your advice, or they're not really looking for you to tell them what to do. They just want to be listened to, and they want to be listened to non-judgmentally. They want to get it off their chest. And what I find, when you stay in that state of non-judgmental presence, they get to a point where either the conversation changes, they either change the conversation, or you manage to get in and acknowledge what they're feeling, but at the same time, without dismissing their experience, you acknowledge what they're feeling, and then you're able to move on the conversation to something else. And more I'm realizing that people are not looking for you to fix their problems. They just want a chance to be heard. That's really it. People are not looking for you to fix their problems. So stop thinking you can fix, or stop thinking you're here to fix people. You're here to fix their problems. They just want to be heard, they want to be acknowledged, and they want to be seen. And I'm doing that more and more often. And guess what? That's a lot less stressful for me as well. Yeah, that is a lot less stressful. Like, I'm not worried about fixing your problem, because I'm going to say something here. At the end of the day, there are no problems. It's just the mind labeling things as problems. And sometimes you just have to let people, you vent, and eventually, especially if you just stay as the awareness, you allow them the space to vent, eventually it will die down. So yeah, just allow life to be, and be present in every single moment, allowing life to flow exactly as it should flow, and watch things unfold. Be 100% here now, present with yourself, because that's all you can ever be. You're always with yourself. You're always with yourself. Even if you're present in a crowd, you have to be comfortable with yourself. That's why some people, when some people say they feel lonely even amongst a group of people, that's because they're not comfortable with themselves. Because even amongst great company, it always starts with you. You have to be comfortable with who you are, because ultimately everything is self. So if you're not comfortable with the self, regardless of the situation or the circumstances, you would never be comfortable. Anyway, that's it. That's it for now. And I am wishing you all a fantastic day, fantastic evening, wherever you are. I love you all. Bye-bye.